It's TBIC, the best of sports entertainment. We're here live in Palms, USA. TNS Media Group is the team. We want to speak about the Minnesota Vikings traveling up to Detroit to play the Detroit Lions. And the game, when this was a highly anticipated game, both teams came in with a record of 14-2, and they were playing for the #1 overall seed. And we got it. We in the first half, the game was kind of close in the first half, and then the second half, the Detroit Lions kind of took off. Their running game paid dividends for them down the stretch. Jahmyr Gibbs was 23 for 139 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had 1 receiving touchdown. Jared Goff was 27 of 33, 231 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have 2 interceptions. Now that this game has passed, both teams know where they'll be playing. One will have a bye, the other will have to play next week. The bye going to the Detroit Lions, they will be, #1 seed overall. What's your thoughts on the play of that game and them ultimately coming down the stretch to play for that #1 spot?
My thoughts on the game is Detroit. They're ready. They're ready to get busy. Mm-hmm. The way they came into this game at home and dominated that game. They want the Super Bowl to come through them. Yeah. Over there in that NFC, they not playing around. The way this guy Jahmyr Gibbs, the way he manhandled that ball, I like to say manhandled the ball. He went out there and he performed. And them as a whole unit, I thought they was pretty much like finished because they got a lot of players that's down, especially on defense. Mm-hmm. The next man up, that's what it is called, next man up, and they're playing like they want a Super Bowl. They're a team that don't have a Super Bowl. They're one of the few teams that doesn't have a Super Bowl. They want to get one now. And at the rate they're going, it looks like it's going to be hard for a team in the NFC to try to, go in Detroit and take that from them.
Also looking at this game, even though, the Lions did win a game 31-9, they do look beatable, though. The Lions look beatable.
They look beatable, but I thought Minnesota was really, the way they annihilated them last night, mm-hmm. that was a showcase to show the rest of the NFC, let's get it.
Yeah, so
but they look beatable, though. I'm not going to sit there and say they don't, but if you don't bring your A game, they won't be beatable that day.
Mm-hmm. The road to Super Bowl, of course, is going to go through Detroit. I just think that the Vikings really show who they are playing against an upper echelon team like the Detroit Lions, and everybody has an off night, or off game, I should say.
That was a blowout. That wasn't an off game. That was an annihilation. Yeah. Detroit stepped to them dudes out there on that field, man, and they showed them you come in here playing around, and this is what you get. Mm-hmm. This was like a preview of the NFC Championship. Yeah. And they handled them easily. Like you said, it was close a little, but you could tell the way that game was going when it was still close that it was just waiting to be busted wide open by Detroit. Yeah. Minnesota, that Sam Donald and all that, don't nobody believe y'all, man. Especially after this.
They still 14-3. Then you got Sam Donald. Sam Donald didn't have that good of a game. It was 18 for 41, 166 yards.
Man.
Yeah, 166 yards. They didn't have.
This was a playoff game, bro. This was a game that they had to come out there and play to get the #1. If Minnesota win that game, they get the #1 seed. Yeah. You came out there and laid egg. Yeah. It was like no effort, no oomph. You just gave up.
Like I said, they played pretty well in the first half. I don't say
it was just close.
They played pretty well. I would say that it was close, and it was going into halftime. It was 10-6, but then in the second half, Detroit Lions kind of turned it on and ran away with the game. Now, if you look at the Vikings, we can say that that they laid the egg or whatever, which they did. But now going into the playoffs, they have to play on the road. First game, they have to be on the road for the playoffs and probably throughout the playoffs. So what does this mean for this Vikings team? Do they just pick up the pieces they have to pick up the pieces and move on? But does this show that they can be beat as well, or that they aren't who we say they are?
Yes, it shows that they aren't who they say they are. That's what it showed. You went out there with the #1 seed on the line and did absolutely nothing. I can see if it came down to the wire and they was rumbling it out. You laid down. You let this man get 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing. When do you put double coverage on him? At what point in the game? Evidently, it was no dying urgency for them to do that. So that's why they got what they got coming to them, what they had coming to them last night.
But you know, the Vikings are still a good team. They still have.
Yeah, let you say it.
The Vikings are still a good team. They still have an opportunity to make a deep playoff run. I think they would probably want to get some get back if they're able to get up play against the Detroit
Yeah, they
Lions.
keep playing around. They be one and done and won't go see no Lions.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll just have
Playoffs start next week.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't get no do-overs in this. It's one and done.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens in regards to them. But I think the Vikings still have some life left in them because they're still 14-3. They still have a playoff position. You know, you got to lick your wounds and forget about this game and move on to next week and try to make something happen going forward in the playoffs. Anything else you want to add in regards to this game?
Yeah, Vikings. I don't know what the coaches is telling y'all. I don't know if the players just wasn't up for it. Because nothing is going to be given to you. You have to take everything. Take everything and give nothing. And you showed none of that to me. So, like Tawfiq just said, you know, you got the playoffs next week now. Hopefully that was just like a wake-up call to y'all to get to where y'all need to go. But if you go into the playoffs playing as you just did in the Detroit Lions home this Sunday, then you'll be making an early exit.
Yeah, so they have to get ready to play those, those Rams. They're gonna go up there. They're gonna play the Rams. The Rams.
Yeah, and that ain't no. Yeah.
Rams won 8 of their last 10. So
yeah,
they're playing fairly well. So we'll see what happens, man. It's TBIC, the best in sports entertainment.